Okay, so we are going to start with the correlation coefficient now. So based on what we have here, right, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sharing the only one
Yes.
which is the notes. Okay, so this one is not including your face just now, right? This is the one which is the correlation coefficient. Okay, the first method of trying to find out the relationship between the variables, just now we have learned on how to find the relationship by looking at the scatter diagram, by observing the scatter diagram. So that is one of the technique. Okay, one of the technique that we can use is to observe from the scatter plot. Okay, so another method of finding the relationship is going to be from this second subtopic of correlation coefficient. We can actually calculate the correlation, which is the relationship between the variables, by finding the correlation coefficient. So ini is another technique lah sebenarnya. Is another technique to find out the relationship between variables. And in this technique, we can know whether it is a very high correlation ataupun a weak one, depending on the value that we will be getting. Okay, the value that we will be getting is in between -1 and +1. Okay, dia akan dapat in between -1 to +1. And if you are not having any relationship between the variables, you are supposed to get the value of 0. If you are not having the relationship between variables, the value is supposed to be equals to 0. Okay, so what you can understand is that the very near value to the value of 0 is considered to be a weak relationship. The value which is very near to the value of 0 would be a weak relationship, weak correlation. Tapi the one which is very near to the value of +1 or -1 would be a strong negative relationship or strong positive relationship. Okay. Okay, if we try to look at the middle between these two values, it will be around 0.5, okay, negative or positive, okay. Kalau you get something which is in or near to the value of -0.5 or +0.5, we can use the word average or normal, okay. Not very strong, not very weak, okay. So we can use the word average or normal. Okay, average or normal. The same goes for positive values lah. Okay, you can imagine kalau you get a negative value, meaning the relationship is a negative relationship. Kalau you get a positive value, the meaning is you are having a positive relationship. Positive relationship meaning increasing to the right. Negative relationship meaning decreasing to the right. Okay, boleh? Okay, so kalau you get something else which is not in this range of -1 to +1, suddenly after you do your calculation, you get +2.3 ke, -3.3 or 3.5 or even -1.11. Okay, it shows that you are doing the mistakes in your calculation because your value that you get is just supposed to be around this value. Okay, kalau dapat out of that range, you please check, double check your calculation. Okay, so the formula that we have for this first method of correlation coefficient is given as below. Okay, which is the one with the purple, turquoise and yellow in color here. Okay, so in this formula, you can see that we need to find out our xy, which is the multiplication between x and y, and we also have summation of x times by summation of y, and then we have summation of x square, summation of y square, summation of x in bracket square, and summation of y in bracket square. Okay, so by this time, are you able to differentiate benda-benda ni? Kalau saya tanya is between the first one here and the second one here, what is the difference between dalam kurungan square luar kurungan square. What is the difference between them? Yeah, anyone? Is there any difference between this and this?
Yes.
Apa beza dia?
Beza dia untuk yang x square dia adalah
What do you need to do first?
hasil tambah.
What do you need to do first?
We need to know the x value.
X value times by, square value of x. First, you need to know your x square value first. Maksudnya, if you have your x here, you need to find out a column of x square first. Okay, kalau this one, the one below,
We just need to know the value of x.
you just have to find out which one is your x value. For example, let's say this is your x value, and you just get the total of x over here. Nampak tak? The one that I'm showing you on the screen here. Okay, so I'm hoping that you don't have any issue to understand this, the difference between all this notation, because this is already chapter 7, yeah? Chapter 7, chapter 6. Chapter 6, we have gone through our task. Our task for test of hypothesis, which is involving standard deviation and all. Supposedly standard deviation pun we have kind of formulas written like this. So hopefully no problem of understanding the notation that we have here. Okay, so we are now expecting to calculate the product moment correlation coefficient by knowing which one is our x and which one is our y. You kena identify dulu mana x, mana y macam biasa. And then the next one is to find out the n value. What is the n value? For the case that we have below, what is the n value that we have here? Illustration 2.
12 kilometer.
12 kilometer? Is that the n value? The sample size is the n value. Okay, so what is the sample size for this data given to us? How many data do we have?
6.
6 data. 2, 4, 6. Okay, 6 pairs of data. Okay, so basically this is the number of pair. Number of pair. Because our data is a pair of data. Okay, kalau we get 40 over here, 40 is one people who age 40, the time needed to run is around 61 minutes. So we need to consider this as one sample. Ini seorang. This is another sample. Okay, this is our first sample, second sample, third sample, fourth sample, fifth sample, and sixth sample. So in this case, the number of sample that we have is 6. Okay, so that is how you identify your n value. Boleh? Okay, boleh? Right. So now I would like you to calculate this illustration 2 to find out the product moment correlation coefficient. Okay, nama diberi for this technique is Pearson product moment correlation coefficient. Why is it product moment? Because we have the multiplication of a few things over here, not to forget ada square root of something over here. Okay, so I want you to try to answer this one in about 5 minutes to 7 minutes. Okay, try to settle with this. Okay, if you are using Excel, maybe you can try to use Excel. If you are not using Excel, then you have to use your calculator to find out all the values that you have here. Okay, so in order for you to calculate, what are the things that you need? First is to identify your x value. Which one is the x value for this case?
H.
H, yeah, H, because H is our independent variable. The time taken to complete the run will be for Y value. Okay, so this is going to be time for Y, sorry, the H for X. Okay, so after you identify your X and Y value, next is to find out your X square values, your Y square values. That's all, is it? Ke ada lagi? Ada. We have another one which is XY. We also need to find out our XY value. Right, so I want you to complete the table first in order for you to be able to be done with the calculation of product moment. Okay, so every time we need to come up with the summation of something, it's better for us to complete the table first. Okay, complete the table first. At the end of the table, we can try to find out the total that we need for every row or every column. Okay, so can you put your hands down here? Farha, Amir, Rabiatul. Okay, so if you have done, you may raise up your hands again. Boleh? Any problem that you face so far? Okay, there are 2 students who have done. Can we get the response from the rest of the class members? We have Ami. Ami, you are using Excel, is it? Nurin and
Yes.
Farha? Excel is quite apa nak panggil istilahnya, is going to be quite fast. You just drag, you use the formula and drag, kan?
Yes.
Ha. Okay, so when it comes to final exam and you are going to calculate this by your own by using the calculator. Okay, so yeah, so maybe you should practice this for another exercise on your own, which is this one. Okay, but I would like to see your calculation for this now. Okay, only 4 students have done. Okay, I don't think that you have any problem for the calculation. But if you do have the problem, it might be related to the process of putting all the values in the formula. Okay, hati-hati. You have to be very careful when you substitute into the formulas. And not to forget that we have a square root over here, square root, and in the bracket we have one bracket of the coins, another bracket for yellow one, and above we have one a purple one. Okay, so when you want to try to settle with this, if you are using the calculator, what you can do is you can try to simplify one value from the purple one, the other value from the blue one, blue turquoise one, and multiply by the other value from the yellow one. And don't forget that we have the square root over there. Okay, you try to get the value of P, B, and Y. Okay, and multiply for the one below, and not to forget to square root the one below. Okay, settle? Okay. We are still waiting, but I'm hoping that I can come up with another technique after this. Can we start sharing the screen now? Ida, are you using Excel, Ida?
Yes, madam.
Yes, okay. Can you show me your screen? Can you share your
Yang tu
screen?
miss sekali dengan answer je ke apa?
Your calculation including until you find out the R value.
Oh, I haven't find the art rally yet.
Okay. So that is the purpose of this calculation, okay? Not just to complete the table. What about Nurhazika? Have you done, Nurhazika?
No, madam, I haven't done yet.
Haven't done yet. Okay, you angkat tangan kan? Hazika and Ida.
Tak cari art punya value.
Oh, okay. Semua orang tak sedar ke? We are now finding all this value for the purpose of finding R. Of course, kena settle sampai finding R. Semua orang tak jadi nak angkat tangan. Okay, of course, you need to find out the value of R after we complete with all this value in the table. Okay, what happened to Ame? Ame, Ami Imtiaz, why do you put your hand down?
Because I'm not done the R yet.
Ami Imtiaz?
I'm not done the R yet.
Oh, you have not found the R yet. Okay, it's not that difficult because you already have your Excel value. You just have to find out the total and substitute in the formula. You can also use your calculator. Okay, when it comes to the calculation, we are dealing with so many data, so you can just consider to have 2 decimal places during the calculation until the end of the final answer. Okay, sebab dalam exam, we are using our calculator to calculate all of this. So you can just consider to have 2 decimal places to make it short for the one in the workings and until your final solution. Okay, what do you get for R? Can I have your value of R now?
Is it 0.96, madam?
96. You get 0.96. I don't know. What about the rest? I don't have the answer with me now, but I would like us to compare the value. You get the same? Ami?
Same value. Yep.
Okay, so you are using Excel, Ami?
I'm using Excel, but for the calculation, I'm doing it manually.
Okay. Alright, can you show me your calculation in Excel first by sharing the screen?
Sure, madam.
Silakan. Alright, so these are the data that you have. Make it bigger, please. The percentage over here. The view of the percentage at the bottom here.
Alright, madam. For the percentage
I mean the one below.
here.
On the right, on the right. On the right, I mean the view. I would like to see a bigger view.
Zoom in, zoom.
Zoom.
Sorry.
Zoom. Okay, percentage yang tu. Okay. So now, can we compare? Total, all of the total that your friend will get over here. Those who are using your calculator, do you get the same value? X 310 times 467, which is y. X square is 16,506. Y square is 36,991, and xy is 24,667. Okay, so then after that you are going to substitute all this value into the formula. Kan? Right?
Yes, madam.
Okay,
Yes.
so can you now show me your formula?
For the formula,
Can you share
I use-
dalam chat? You
Oh.
share your calculation in chat.
Madam, actually, for the calculation, I write it at here. So you can see this my calculation for the upper
Oh, alright.
formula.
Okay, you are using your calculator. So 3032 for the one which is upper one. Below
Yes,
one is
upper one.
2936.
Below
And-
one for the first column is 2936. Column 2 is 3857, and
Okay.
I multiply it. I get what's the values?
Okay.
So I get 11324145152, and then I
Square root.
make it a square root for this
Okay.
value, and I get 3365.514, and then
Okay.
I just
Take the above one, divide by the answer, and you get 0.96. Alright, so that is what your friend get. Thank you, Amir Muhaimin. So what can you say from there?
That the relationship is strong.
Strong, positive relationship.
Positive relationship is strong.
Okay, so the way to interpret would be you have to mention the direction, which is either it is positive or negative, and the strength of the relationship, whether it is weak, normal, or strong relationship. Which one? So, supposed to be strong, positive relationship between apa ni? Strong, positive relationship. Strong, positive relationship between
The age.
the age and apa tadi?
The time in minutes.
The time spent for the people to complete the run, is it? The age and time spent to complete the run, the marathon run, something like that. Okay, so basically the thing that is very important here is to mention about the direction and the strength of the relationship. Alright, thank you, Amir Haimin. Okay, so I'm sharing you here the screen now. Right, we are going to proceed with another one now. But before we proceed with another one, yeah, we have another exercise to be done, but that one would be as homework, okay? So that one would be as homework, right? I'm going to ask you to do that as homework. So this one, self-test 2, I would like you to try by your own, and I'm hoping that you get the same value of R equals to negative 0.93. Okay, and the relationship will be a strong negative relationship. You can check after you have done with this self-test 2. Okay, but before I forget, the meaning of a positive, strong relationship between age and time just now, it shows that when the age increase, what happened to the time to complete the marathon run? When the age increase,
the time will increase also.
Okay, when the age increase, the time needed to run a 12-kilometer marathon event will be increasing too. Okay, macam when you are older, it's assumed that when you are older, majority of us lah, we are not saying that for those who are having a good fitness kan, a good fitness maybe you can, although you are age of 60, you might be having the ability to complete the run earlier than the younger one, tapi this is a normal person lah. We are talking about a normal person. Normally when it comes to older people, the time spent to complete the run will be longer. That is the meaning of a positive correlation, positive strong correlation over here. Okay, so you do this one, but before you do that one, okay, this is going to be as homework. Okay, I am going to explain about Spearman rank correlation for about 3 minutes here. Okay, so just now when you see your calculation that you have done, you can see that all the data that you have is supposed to be quantitative data because we have the summation of x, we have the summation of y, summation of xy, and all, right? So it is going to be impossible for you to calculate qualitative data punya correlation coefficient. Okay, But we have another technique here, which is known as Spearman rank correlation coefficient. This is for the one which is qualitative and also quantitative. If you have quantitative data, you may also use this formula. But if you have qualitative data, you have to check first whether your data can be ranked or cannot be ranked. Okay, because the method that we have here is to highlight the rank part. Okay, not all the qualitative data can be ranked. So the one that we cannot rank are those that we cannot calculate. Okay, so we are going to see here. This is the formula that we have, which is RS equals to 1 minus 6 times by D square over N square minus 1. So the N is just similar as what we have before. The only different thing that we have here is the D value. Okay, so how do we find the D value? D value is actually the difference between R of X and R of Y. Okay, D is actually the difference between rank of X and rank of Y. Okay, so how do we do this? Okay, I want you to see the example that we have over here. Okay, I want you to see the example that we have over here. If we are talking about mathematics grade and marketing grade, okay, when we are talking about the grade, we can actually rank the grade. Okay, we can know which one would be a better rank, which one would be the lesser rank. Betul tak? Grade. What about color? Can we rank the color? It is a qualitative data kan? Can we rank the color? Yes or no? Color.
Yes.
Pink, black, can we rank them? How do we know black will be the first? How do we know pink will be the second one? Boleh tak?
No.
Impossible lah. Okay? That is the kind of data that we cannot rank. Okay, so qualitative data that we cannot rank, we cannot calculate the correlation coefficient. So for you to calculate the correlation coefficient, you have to make sure that that data can be ranked. Okay, we can see the importance of the data. Okay, example dia apa? Grade. For example, grade. Kalau grade mathematics and marketing ni, we can just assume the first one as X, the second one as Y. Okay, sebab we do not know which one is going to be depending on which one. Ada ke orang boleh bagi tahu? Apa ni? Marketing grade is depending on our mathematics grade. We do not know kan, it can be otherwise too. So if that is the case, we can just simply put any of them as X and Y. Okay, normally we put X as the first one, Y as the second one. Okay, so that is what you are going to do first. After that, you are going to rank it. You are going to rank the Y and rank the X. Okay, after you consider which one is your X and Y value, you will be ranking it. Okay, ranking maksudnya apa? You see from A sampai F yang mana satu akan jadi number 1. Of course, number yang terror, which is A, would be first rank. Okay, but we are having A for 2 places. At first, we put it as 1 and 2. And then we proceed with B, number 3, number 4, and then number 5 for C, 6 for E, and F for 7. Okay, so this is what you have at first. Tapi what happened next is we know that some of it are the same, which are C and C, A and A. So we cannot use 1 and 2. We have to change it. How to change? Is to get the average of that number. The average of these two numbers. Okay, and the same goes to this one. This is also the average of these two numbers. You get it? Okay, so your new rank for this one, A and A, is 1.5, C and C will be 4.5. Okay, but you cannot do this until you complete all together the data rank first. Kena settle sampai 7. Kalau you have 7 data, you have to settle sampai 7 first. Lepas tu baru you sibuk find out the same rank, the same grade ataupun the same data. Boleh? Faham tak? Okay, so you proceed with RY, the same technique as what you have just now. You can see now we are having 2, 2 and 2. Sebab apa? Sebab this is number 1, number 2 and number 3. Kan? 1, 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 divided by 3, you get the value of 2. It's the average of the numbers. Okay? It's the average of the numbers. Okay, after that you find your value of d and then d square. And the formula is written as 6 times by d square. So we have over here d square. So you need to find out your total of d over here. Okay, so from the calculation, you will be getting 0.93. From this calculation, you will be getting 0.93. So you are going to say that there is a positive, strong correlation between the mathematics grade and the marketing grade. There is a positive, strong correlation between the marketing and the mathematics grade. You get it? Any questions to ask so far?
Not yet, madam.
Not yet. Okay, you need to do this in order for you to know whether you have questions to ask or not. Okay, so I leave you with illustration 3 and self-test 3. I'm going to give you the notes after this, straight away after this. I want you to print out, make sure that you have the notes before the next class. And we are going to discuss more if you are having any problem related to this topic. Boleh? Boleh? So hari ni kerja sekolah ada 3. One is self-test 3, illustration 3, and self-test 2. Okay? Ada 3. Alright, so we are going to meet again on the next class. Kalau Madam Shikin is not here yet, so we are going to meet again, but that time we will be combining it with another class because I have my class at 8 in the morning on Wednesday. So at that time we are going to combine 2 classes, right? Okay, so that will be all for now. If you have anything to ask, you may always chat with me dalam Teams. If you want to get my phone number, I'm going to let you know my phone number dalam Teams after this. Right, that's all for today. How many students at the end of the class now? Is there anyone who are not in the class? We have 8 je, seriously? Oh, okay, 19. Alright, so Alhamdulillah, everyone is in the class until the end. So that's all for today. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye.
Thank you, madam.